Good morning.
Good morning.
Just did our brake check at Mine Hill. Pulled up my cookies. My cookies.
You might actually like my cookies. You might. I'm not sure. I don't like your cookies.
We got haylage on the back. Big round hay bales wrapped in silage wrap.
But now you know what the green wrap is.
Color does make a difference.
I mean, it doesn't make a difference. I know it doesn't make a difference in the product, but I think it's probably common for farmers to use green for haylage and white for silage.
I've seen white bales are definitely haylage as well.
Oh.
Now that I know the difference, silage bales kind of go squat down and get big and lumpy as they start fermenting. Much wetter, so they get a different shape. If they keep their round, original looking shape, they're haylage.
And these are a little squishy.
Huh?
These are a little squishy a little bit when you're picking them up on them. They look like little marshmallows. Squeeze them like that.
Not as squishy as silage would be.
No.
In fact, silage is so squishy you can't transport it. Trailers like this.
That worked out pretty well to get loaded this morning.
Yep, we slept at a rest area in Abbotsford and then got loaded today morning at 7 sharp. I called the farmer yesterday and when I called him, I'm like, he goes, what time can you be here? I'm like, I can be there at 7. And they're like, oh! Because they're really pressuring me. I'm like, no, if you want to load later. He goes, no, the earlier the better. Like, I've got no problem loading a bit later if that's an issue for you. Cashews?
Mm-hmm.
They're good.
Mm-hmm. The brown cashews, you shouldn't eat a lot of them. But it's hard to stop yourself from eating a lot of them.
Yeah, you don't want to eat a lot of them.
But it's hard not to. You're like, oh, these are good. I think cashews and almonds are the only nuts I can have right now that I'm not allergic to.
short frames with wood platform in them. I don't know what that is, but definitely a big loss, a whole load of them. What are you looking for?
Whatever's rattling on my side.
Oh, you're welcome to the club.
Don't worry. I'll figure it out.
A lot of time it's your seat that's rattling. If you're sitting in it, that rattle is gone, so it's one less rattle I have to deal with.
It's a good thing my talkie's not considered rattling on.
Well, might be.
You know better. You're doing that fine line of knowing it's a joke and not to take it too far.
Sometimes. Yeah. There were a lot of police between Abbotsford and Hope. The one point saw the cop flashing lights ahead of us, so I migrated over to the camera lane. And this van, full-size work vehicle, it was a work vehicle, it was some kind of plumbing vehicle, decided he didn't want to follow me in the hammer lane and passed me, speeding like crazy, on the slow lane right beside the cop. The law is move over or slow down. And this van did exactly the opposite. I guess the cop didn't appreciate it because he had a radio. A couple of miles down the road, that van was pulled over. It's like, sucker! Next time you might slow down. A lot of these fences say no hunting, no trespassing. Maybe that's why there's always so many deer here.
Well, somewhere we see cattle here. So just trying to get people to shoot their cattle.
That's been a problem recently in the Okanagan the last couple of years.
Oh yeah, naturally.
People target practicing on cattle just for fun of it, leaving the cows there.
Mm-hmm.
Just for sport. It's like, you guys are idiots. Here comes that construction zone that has no reason for. It's been here ever since the flooding when they had a checkpoint here. For some reason, they're not tearing it down. One of these days, there'll be cops sitting here ticketing us out for going through here at full speed because there's no reason for it. pulling into Princeton here momentarily. Like the next section of the highway is boring, so I'll record later on. Well, I'm like, no, I rarely.
Pretty sure there was still a bit of that dirty shit that Glenn had to keep out, so I know the other guys are bringing back dirt still, but whether they're hauling anything back to Glenn, I'm not sure about.
That's the fear of leaving radios on. Oh, looks like EcoChips is setting up again. They're getting a lot of logs in.
We've been listening to our audiobook too, so.
Yeah, it's also hard to shoot a video when you're listening to audiobook. Gotta get a video in.
I'm enjoying the book so far.
What's it called?
We Are Legion.
We Are Legion. Bobaverse.
Yeah.
First of the series. It's definitely space travel, futuristic, sci-fi.
With load that phase rock. Yeah, will do.
Excuse me. Have I coughed at all today yet? Look, the road's falling into the, off the cliff. No posts are falling off. Yippee! Definitely a problem section of the road. To repair that so many years in a row, eventually they have to come up with a more permanent solution.
Yeah.
Because eventually the whole road's just going to disappear. Had a good question. I seem to run a lot of times on low fuel. I'm one of those guys that doesn't like stopping for fuel. Because every time you stop for fuel, it takes 10 minutes. A little detour takes 15 minutes. 20 minutes. Depending on where you're going to fuel up. I could stop and fuel up right here, but we're only at half a tank, so we're going to keep going till we're much, much lower.
Also, you have select fuel cards, and
We have fuel cards that the boss prefers us to use as well.
yeah, exactly. So sometimes you will go to a different city because you know. it's
If I
better.
know I can make it to a preferred fuel stop, I'll rather
Why
go
there?
there. In the winter, I'll run at half a tank now. I'd start thinking about fueling up.
Yeah, but in case we have to idle, road closure,
Yep.
you think of that. I also think of things like we had like 6 gallons of water, I think, in here.
Something like that.
Yeah, and then we have a bunch of canned food and stuff. Like we go prepared on the road.
There's a week's worth of good food, and then another week's worth of not good food, canned food, surviving food, and water. The river's flowing pretty fast.
Yeah, these are starting to melt now, so it shall be interesting.
Coming up a little on water level, but still nothing close to the flooding. But it is increasing. The rain, snow we're getting, we'll see how much that will add to the. Nothing like Manitoba though.
Yeah, that's gonna be a brutal storm.
Huge snowstorm, and they were already worried about flooding. Snowstorm always is worse because it all kind of accumulates first, and it all melts at the same time with the rain that comes right after it, causing really bad flooding. So
The thing is, it's coming up from North Dakota too, so North Dakota's already gonna be saturated.
I remember the flood of '97. I did a lot of volunteer sandbagging, and they're kind of predicting that maybe worse. Worse, that's. I drove through a lot of washed out parts of the road where you would go, can a car make it through there still? Kind of go through this dip, and
I'm kind of worried because the people that won't give up their plans for Easter are going to be going out with it.
yeah, it'll be Easter weekend. People are going to be, nope, going to go hang out with family, and those people are in danger.
Yeah. Some people don't know when to say no.
Sounds like we're going to get a U.S. load after this. We'll see. Plans change quickly, but last we heard we're going to the U.S. Washable was the destination, but we'll see.
If so, I'll be excited because that's one of my favorite highways.
Could have all changed by now.
Yeah.
And that was Princeton. Back into the wilderness. This section of highway goes across the old railroad grade, which was apparently not the Kettle Valley Railroad. It was the Great Northern Railroad. Not connected to the Kettle Valley Railroad. I guess the Great Northern Railroad went down to Carameus and south to Coston. I don't know where it went after that, if it went to the U.S. Yeah, I guess BC bridges, so it must have gone to the U.S. Must have crossed the Nighthawk area. Or would have been more in the Snoqualmie Valley. Yeah, it would have stayed in the Snoqualmie Valley. Because you see railroad bridges down that way all the way, so. Yeah, I thought this was all Kettle Valley Railroad, but it wasn't. Kettle Valley Railroad went from Princeton up through the mountains to Summerland, then south to Penticton, and from Penticton back north to Kelowna, on the other side of the lake.
And then it came down.
And then back down to Rock Creek.
Yeah.
From Rock Creek, it worked its way up to Grand Forks, from Grand Forks around to Castlegar. Yep. How far did the Kettle Valley Railroad go toward the west? It made it all the way to Princeton, so it went up to what's the town north of Princeton? Tulameen goes up that way.
Coalmount.
Then goes Coalmount, and then cuts over to the Coquihalla, and then goes back down to Hope, right?
Okay.
I think that would all be KVR. Fellow tunnels and all that. That makes sense. That line would just zigzag back and forth. here? Is it either too cold or too hot?
I'm comfy right now.
Your nuts are rattling in the back.
Ooh, the painkillers.
Oh, those are your painkillers? What are they, Tylenol?
Aleve or aspirin, one of those, dude. I don't know. There's medicine.
I regret eating on the ferry.
Yeah.
Both of our stomachs got very upset. I think the key to eating on the ferry is not be first in line. Wait till you're one of the last people in line.
Or you have to order something that they didn't prep ahead of time.
Yeah, order something that they don't usually make a lot of. Because the burger itself seemed like it had been sitting on a warmer for a while.
Could have, yeah.
It wasn't fresh made. The poutine is really good, but the burger seemed a little blah. I mean, it was good, but you can tell it wasn't the freshest.
Oh, that's the auction ground, eh? Yeah, Abel Auction's having a big auction there. He's got a lot of the stuff. The guy wants to move to Grand Forks and owns it, eh?
It's gonna land one and keep it there just in case. Not that the language is better there, but they were behaving there. See, the flooding went over the road over here. Oh yeah, I missed it again. You saw a car in the river. It's like all the flooding brought cars and houses and trees and everything. Debris everywhere. Now that it's spring, the snow's all melted. You see every fence has got all this debris caked up against it. It looks like most of the housing here is at a higher level, so most of the homes survived the flooding. Beautiful Smilkameen Valley. Another cloudy day. It's interesting to look at the river and all the trees right along the shoreline, all their roots are just wide open. I wonder if that's going to kill some of those trees. All the dirt, gravel, and sand has been washed away from the roots. It's got to definitely make them weaker for wind to blow them over. And more susceptible to diseases and stuff, I would think, because of their lack of mark on the roof.
Yeah.
Oh, we definitely took more than 10 hours off last night. I think it was close to 10 and a half. So if we get loaded today, we can kind of cross the border even today.
Yeah, we'll see how things plan out. You get such an early start, it could be possible.
Either way, Jess hasn't had to edit video yet. I edited yesterday's video. That's all the ferry stops. I had most of the video edited before we got on the ferry. Of course, I forgot to hit record to drive onto the ferry. I'm like, dang it, I was gonna do that. And I edited the rest of the scary rest area.
Yeah, the scary rest area.
It's the closest rest area to the city centers, which means a lot of homeless and start making their homes there. So you have a lot of RVs, a lot of paths going into the forest where there's tents and stuff. People have made their homes, so.
Well, that's not what makes it scary. Just things that are hard to talk about on a video. Just are not family friendly.
The pickle park.
On a whole different topic.
A decently wrapped trailer. A modern load. Different topic?
Kind of, sort of. You mentioned pickles. I realized we have not had any of my canned pickles out of last year.
Why aren't you feeding me those?
I keep forgetting every weekend. I'm like, I canned all these
The
pickles.
park is open.
You should have some.
It's the first week I've seen this park open. Romley Rock Provincial Park.
Yeah, that becomes a hot spot for people swimming.
Yep, that's definitely a hot spot for camping, swimming, day camping.
I don't have a home on the farm. I need one of those grabber thingies so you can reach back there and turn it.
Don't worry, there's a lot worse rattles in the videos most of the time.
Yeah, I edited that one and I was like, oh, I know what that sound is. It's a spray paint can.
Oh, the spray paint can, yep, I had the spray paint can in here. Every time I turn, clink, 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 clink. I'm just mixing the paint.
I thought it was funny because like editing the video, I'm like, I know what that sound is. I haven't been in a truck for a few years, but I know what that is. Definitely more off-grid if you live out here because you don't have cell phone service and stuff if you live in the house.
Yeah, yeah. think you see something?
Like a dog.
I could have sworn I saw a black bear on the other side.
Maybe around here. There's no snow here, so they could be awake here.
It's the right time of year to see him. I'm like, that's what that looks like. You couldn't get a second view to confirm, so I don't know if I saw it. But I'm pretty sure that's what that was.
I've definitely been watching for them. I know they're starting to wake up.
Next time will be Headley. About 10 minutes or so.
I feel like we're making good time.
What's that?
I feel like we're making good time.
Yeah, it's a heavier load than when we went to the coast. But it's not a super heavy load either. We're not nowhere near max weight. It's light enough I didn't look at my gauges. So I don't know what we weighed. And when we went through a scale, I didn't even look at the numbers there either. One of those loads is light enough that I don't care. Here, the old railroad bed keeps going straight out that way to the right. Now we're driving on, I guess, old wagon trails. Marmot, yeah, marmots are out. Seen a couple of those, but not very many yet.
Yeah, they like to sunbathe, so they're not really active. It's cloudy.
What's a marmot? Think a gopher the size of your cat. A really big cat.
Yeah.
Big house cat. But it looks like a gopher. That's a marmot. I forget that marmots are a pest that are everywhere over here, but other parts of the world have no idea what it is.
Yeah. I would say the wild ones are skittish, and the tame ones, well, you can feed them partners.
Yeah, you can feed them crackers out of your hand.
Yeah,
Come
but
right up to you.
the wild ones you'll see here sunbathing and they take off right away. They're a little skittish.
Probably shouldn't be feeding them, but that's why they're tame, because so many people have fed them.
Just like yesterday at the ferry when we were waiting, people were feeding the seagulls like
The seagulls, yeah.
like
So many
huge
people were feeding
buns
seagulls.
or bagels or things. Huge pieces of bread.
1x4s. Very bad cell service here. How's it going, Ivan? I can barely hear you. Yeah, I'll call you back when I go to Caramias. Bye. Very bad cell service. Ivan, can you call me back when it's better cell service?
I wonder if you wanted my passport info or something, probably. Maybe working on the next load like that.
Yeah, could be. Gold mine tour has been closed temporarily for 2 years now. Closed temporarily just before COVID, and then I guess that we're doing some.
Well, you're saying already the bookings for this, like, Patakan, Okanagan this summer, they're already over, like, booked. Like, there's gonna be a huge tourist peak for us this summer.
When they first built the stairs up there on the mountain somewhere, I could always spot them. Now they've kind of weathered in.
Yeah.
I have no idea where they are. There's hundreds of steps up there leading to a mine. Beautiful view down to the valley here. We've never gone. But now that those steps have blended in, I don't know where they are up there.
Yeah,
Somewhere up there is a beautiful mine.
Went to the mine the other way, Quaddy.
Not that particular mine.
Oh, a different mine?
Yes.
That was pretty cool though.
Yet. Next town would be Caramias.
I was just thinking about Caramias.
Were you?
Yeah, I was thinking I can't wait for fruit stand season.
Now some of the fruit stands are open already.
I know, but like they're fresh.
Yeah, fresh fruit. We'll start with cherries.
Yeah. Love cherry season.
Cherries are just starting to bloom now. So you have a couple of weeks.
Couple months. They're usually ready around Canada Day. That's if it's a good one.
When she says Canada Day, she means July 1st.
Yeah. That's early in the year, like season wise. Usually
The
mid-July.
first cherries we see in our fruit stands are imported from Washington.
Yeah. Unless it's a really hot year here.
Frog in the throat. Yeah, hopefully we're going to the U.S. because I really don't want to run highway free anymore. We run it so often, it's like I don't know what to shoot. So, please send in a request. Shoot driving through this town along highway free, anywhere between Hope and Castlegar.
I think you get a lot of these because the job sites are in Vancouver and stuff.
Yeah.
You go to where they're building.
Here you see a railroad bed on the other side of, over here on this side of the river. There's still a railroad bed on the other side of the river. So I don't know if any of this is true, but to me it seems like there is a railroad bed on both sides of the river from Headley to Tiarmias where they probably would have joined up again. So that makes me think it was cheaper to build 2 railroads than to build a bridge.
Okay. You bring up some interesting questions.
Because why would you not just build a bridge at Headley here to join the railroad on the other side?
Unless this one service the mines more.
Yeah, this is definitely a mine railroad. It probably just went to the Headley gold mines. That's all this railroad did. But why not cross the bridge? Make a bridge and cross the river. Unless it was cheaper to literally build another railroad on this side than cross the bridge. Hopefully I get better sleep tonight than last night.
Oh,
The upset stomach, I was up a lot.
So was I. It was good thing we stopped at a watch.
Yep, good thing we stopped at a rest area instead of just some random pullout. Quite a few big rocks laying around on the bottom of the meadows here. I don't think they rolled down off the top of the mountain. I think they're dropped by glaciers. They could have rolled off the top of the mountain, but lot of RVs in there.
Just kind of checking out the RVs. Let me go past some of the sales places.
Okay.
Yeah, I should point them out.
I'm still debating in my head buying a used RV or a brand new one. Brand new one, you can spec it out exactly the way you want it. Pay a lot more money. Have good enough cell service to call Ivan back. Pretty close here. It's a small cherry tree blooming on the side of the road.
Yeah, I saw it yesterday.
Someone threw out some cherry pits and decided to take root. See a couple of apple trees here and there too. We're on the rock slide area again.
Oh yeah, it's filling out.
Not a lot of traffic. You're right. There is less traffic than normal. Normally, I'd have people passing.
Feels like less traffic. I haven't been on the road in a couple of years. I don't know. They were told not to stop.
Terrible place to stop. Aren't we on the road like that? Sandbags. We had a dump truck come and bring in a load of sand, and there's also a big pack of sandbags. There's a little filling up
Oh, so they're
planning for the river coming up. It's called dispatch. Whatever he is now. Is he my supervisor? No answer. It's busy on the phone with someone. Let's see. A couple of minutes and try again. Welcome to Kermis. What are you doing, bud? Hello. I would prefer to be home on Friday, but if you have something planned up, what kind of plan do you have? Yeah, I would prefer to have the weekend, but if you don't have someone else to do the run, I'll do it. Just a reminder that my wife is with me. If I have any U.S. runs, her passport number has to go on the manifest. Cool. Thank you. Bye. Just asking kind of what plans we have on the weekend. It's so awesome of them. I like that type of thing.
Yeah, I do have an appointment next week, so
Yeah.
we do have to figure out how to get me back home
What?
for my appointment.
No, I would still be home for the weekend.
Okay, just later in the weekend?
They would just route me a different route to load Friday morning and then come home. Yeah, apparently there's a place that's open on Friday.
So going somewhere reloading. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I could reschedule my doctor's appointment, but it's just to talk about the allergist, so it's something that could get rescheduled if needed.
Oh, that's gotta suck coming out of there with a Super B.
Wonder why you didn't loop around and come up a different way.
Probably went through this way. Did some shopping or filled up his water bottles at that water depot. Oops, I curbed it. And that was Caramias. I'm glad there's more little restaurants on Main than there used to be.
Yeah.
Got a good little mix of restaurants there. There used to be nowhere to eat in this town. Well, I'll try to remember to say hi at McCurdy Ranch. Honk my horn there. But I've taken up an hour of your day already, so probably call it a day here. All that blooming there.
Uh-huh.
A little bit of sun punching through there. Making the mountains look really pretty. Here's the town of Costin. Looks like he's stacking some hay bales right there as well. Ready for a load.
Yeah, there's a lot of rot in some of the top ones.
Anyway, we are out of here. You guys rock.
Adios.
This video is brought to you in part by the letter C and these YouTube members. Cookie starts with C. What other things start with C? Oh, who cares what other things? C is for cookie, and that's good enough for me. Thanks for watching. Nom, 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 nom.
Thank you.